It's midnight, I can't sleep, let's watch some TikTok. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. I'm a fourth year medical student who makes videos about medical school, uni in general, and sometimes I just sit down and talk about pretty much whatever pops into my head. So if that sounds good to you, feel free to smash that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed and keep watching this video. I, along with many people, absolutely love TikTok. Being a medic myself, I can't help but to be drawn to some medic TikToks. So I just thought I'd sit down and go through some of my favorite TikToks in the med school, med student genre and react to them for you lovely people. Let's get into it. I'm gonna try and keep in the original audio for all of these TikToks, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't know what's gonna get me claimed. So if it's a little bit altered or if I've edited out the audio in the video, just know I'm not trying to get copyright claimed. Number one, I have to be honest with you, I have literally never seen anyone actually make notes like this in real life. Like, I have friends who are reasonably artistic, but the majority of people I know just make notes on their computers, and on the off chance that people are actually writing out their notes, they're nowhere near as fancy and as neat as that. The only other place I've seen like calligraphy and pen work like that is on Instagram. I have to be honest with you, on the study side of Instagram area. By the way, follow my Instagram if you're not already. Obviously, there's a bit of a juxtaposition between the beautiful calligraphy that the person in the video is writing the notes with and the actual word that the person's writing, which is cancer. In medical school, we cover some pretty difficult diseases and topics, which can be quite sad. And some people do see kind of making their notes look really nice and pretty as a way to kind of cope with it. Everyone has their different coping mechanisms. As long as we're not romanticizing cancer, which I don't think this person was doing in the TikTok, then you know, it's fine. Beautiful handwriting. I just don't see medical students writing like that. We don't have time. We literally have so many notes to get through. I do not think it's possible for us to actually have such beautiful handwriting consistently. This is one thing I never understand. All of you guys across the pond that call an ECG and EKG. Can someone please explain to me like why? As far as I'm aware, ECG stands for electrocardiogram. So where are you getting the K from? It's not cardio with a K, it's cardio with a C. Americans, explain. The whole outfit is a vibe. That massive jumper, I want one. Virtual medical school is tough at best. Do I change out of my pajamas unless I really need to these days? No. Even when I do change out of my pajamas, I literally just change my shirt. I have my pajama trousers on all the time. I even have them on as I'm filming right now. I'm not going into placement. I'm not going into lectures and things. No one can really see me except for like here upwards. There's just no need for me to be struggling. Hopefully when things start to open up, more people get vaccinated and the pandemic just dies down a little bit, we can get back to some semblance of normal. But right now, it's just very comfy at the moment, which on one hand, I wish you could bring onto the wards, but on the other hand, I don't know how much confidence a patient's gonna get when they see their student doctor dressed in pajamas and massive jumpers.
How stupid I was! How stupid I was!
I'm a little bit triggered by that, I can't lie. But it's true, we spend so much time like romanticizing and fantasizing about being in medical school, and sometimes when you get here, it's just like, this is what I was waiting for. At the end of the day, med school for the majority of people is very beneficial. It's the required path to become a doctor, so you know, if you want to be a doctor, you have to do it. But just because we want to do it doesn't mean that there aren't moments where you're like, really? I signed up for this? The stress, the overload of knowledge, it feels like a lot. But it's actually kind of nice to remember that at one point we actually were wishing to be in medical school, and now here we are. I try and remind myself in the moments where I'm feeling very low that this is really what I wanted to do, and what deep down, even though sometimes it's very tiring, what I still want to do. A couple of notes. Number one, coming from somebody who actually really likes to wake up early, 4:30? Clearly this med student is a lot more organized than I am, because I don't think I'd be able to function after a couple of days of waking up at 4:30. I had to do uni online between the hours of midnight and 10 a.m. for 3 and a bit months, and I didn't do very well with it, so I don't think I'd function on that little sleep. But cool. She gets her workout in the morning. We love to see it. I've been trying to do that as well, so I can relate. I noticed a nice area between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. where homegirl is studying. Dang, that's cool. That's cool. As long as you're taking your breaks, as long as you're keeping yourself healthy, longer than my attention span could really handle, but we love to see it. And enjoying the rest of the day from 4 p.m. onwards. Yes, that sushi at the end looked amazing. I'm always in two minds when people show a day in the life of a medical student, because on one hand, I love the representation. I think it's so important to show people who want to go to medical school or who are just curious like what a day in medical school is like, especially in the pandemic. On the other hand, as I discussed in one of my last videos, which if you haven't seen it, I'll link it up here, about too much productivity, the portrayal of studying on social media, sometimes I feel like these portrayals can be a little bit unhealthy, and unless proper disclaimers are used, it can be a bit demoralizing for people who are watching from the other side, thinking that this is the baseline or this is the standard that you need to be at to be able to go to medical school. I'm not saying that this student doctor is doing that. I'm just always acutely aware of how these portrayals can come across to prospective students who are looking to come to medical school. I always remember how when I watched certain students before I got into med school, I was terrified, thinking that I would not be able to hack medical school. I'd see them studying for hours and hours and hours on end and waking up really early, going to sleep really late, doing constant all-nighters, and I thought that I just wouldn't be able to keep up. But it's nice to have the representation. It's nice for people to be able to get a bit of an insight into how medical school is like. Words cannot express how much these sorts of responses annoy me. I'll be talking to somebody like at a club or something and I'll tell them that I study medicine, and all of a sudden it's, you can take care of me, I don't have to worry about being looked after then. I can barely look after myself. What's telling you that I can look after you as well? Plus, I always love saying this, I'm a student doctor. How much do you really think I know about medicine? Please consult your physician if you think that you need looking after in a medical sense. DMs and comments about studying medicine as a woman get a bit dicey at times. One of my favorites is, what do you study? I say medicine. They say, oh, so you're trying to become a nurse? I've just told you I study medicine. I'm not shaming nurses. I'm just saying that if you want to become a nurse, I think most people are aware of the fact that you go to nursing school. I always just think to myself, would you be asking that question if I was a man saying that I studied medicine? The other career I often get asked if I'm studying for is pharmacy, which I can kind of understand. Like maybe when I say I study medicine, people think that I'm studying actual drugs, which is part of the course, but we do not go into nearly as much detail on the drug side as pharmacists do. They learn about the chemical interactions of all these different drugs and everything like that. They really delve into it, whereas I believe that the medical students' knowledge of drugs is a more superficial knowledge. Of course, we still learn in depth. We have patients to look after in the future. We cannot be putting anyone at risk, but it's not nearly in as much depth as pharmacists go into at all. It just makes me feel so uncomfortable sometimes, the way people react when I say that I study medicine. I don't mind talking about the course. I don't mind talking about what I'm going to become. I just think that the sexist responses of, oh, you're going to look after me, blah, 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 are just not really necessary. And the final one for this video. I've watched that TikTok so many times. It's true. Why is it sending for me? Why is it calling out my name? I remember learning the Krebs cycle in high school. I'm so sure I knew it in high school, but as I got to med school, even though we must have briefly recovered it at some point, I don't know what the Krebs cycle is anymore. All of that knowledge is just out of my brain. I don't remember that anymore. This TikTok really speaks to me. Krebs cycle who? I don't know her. And because the likelihood of the Krebs cycle ever really forming a very big part of clinical knowledge that I need to know for my finals next year, it's very much possible that I will never recover the Krebs cycle again, and it would not be a day too soon. So what did you guys think of these TikToks? Feel free to leave your opinions down in the comments. I absolutely love reading and answering you guys' comments. Your insights are amazing and hilarious. So yes, feel free to leave your thoughts down there. If you want to watch more of my med school content, whether you're a prospective student, you're a current student, or you just want to know a little bit more about med school, click on this playlist here. I'm gonna collate some of my favorite videos that I've made about my med school experience so far. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to subscribe down below. It's free and it makes me very, very happy when you guys do. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.